Well, hi, it's Jennifer, and welcome to today's introverted video. It is just an introverted kind of day, but I'm going to take you along with me. I have been wanting to take a trip to Portage Lake. It's about 45 minutes south of Anchorage. Earlier in the day today, I'm coming to you on a Saturday. Originally, it was just going to be my day off. I was going to stay in my pajamas all day long and really not do a whole lot. But earlier, it was so sunny and it was so gorgeous that I thought I should take advantage of the weather. It took me a little while to finish up all my tasks and get showered and get ready to go. So the clouds have kind of come in a little bit, but I still want to take a drive to Portage Lake. And I also want to talk about empty nesting. My daughter, Lydia, just got married on September 16th. They've just celebrated their month-long anniversary. How sweet is that? Anyway, I was busy in the kitchen. I was changing my chinchilla cage, and my son was out for an appointment, and I heard the garage door open, and I thought, oh, that's probably him returning. And all of a sudden I hear, hi, and it was my daughter, Lydia. And up the stairs she comes with this bag. In fact, I've got it on the counter here, and I'm going to show you what she brought to me, with this bag of gifts for me, because she knows I'm preparing for radiation, and she is a gifter. She's so sweet, and she's so thoughtful. Honestly, it can make me cry. I have found that now that my children are older, that when I hug them, I don't want to let go. If you have older children who've moved out of the home, are you the same way? It comes out this way. I was perfectly fine as she came up the stairs with that just sunshine way about her, with that gift. And we just embraced. She's a really great hugger. And I just didn't want to let go. And I just, like, the tears came, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And we just had a moment, and I was just so touched. And I love her so much. Of course, she's been out of our home. She lived in our family home until she was 26 years old, until she married. Well, actually, she's almost 27. She'll be 27 in January. And I had the privilege to spend time with her. I was a homeschooling parent, full-time homemaker, and just so blessed to have all this amazing time with her. But even my daughter Megan, who got married last year, I just find that when I hug them, I don't want to let go. I want to hang on to them a little bit longer than probably even what they want. But anyway, it was so sweet. I wanted to show you what she brought to me. Here is what my daughter brought me over. She was so sweet. She said she wanted to look for a Christmas bag. And in this has a couple of protein sticks and a couple of little nibbles and some electrolytes and things. And she's already offered to, she's like, I'm bringing you dinner the first night of your radiation. And this cotton candy is from a friend of hers at work. And she owns a cotton candy business. And this lady provided cotton candy for Lydia's wedding. I never did get any, so I'm really excited to try it. And look at, she found me white raven treasures. She says she's been collecting these. And of course, the ravens will be returning any day now from the Kenai Peninsula. There's still ravens here in Anchorage and all throughout the state, but the migratory ravens specifically. And then I am a macaroon lover. And Sweet Caribou here in town exclusively makes macaroons. She wanted to go with a pink theme for breast cancer. How sweet is that? And I love macaroons. Oh my goodness, they are my absolute weakness. Wasn't that so sweet? Going through the empty nesting phase, which can last years depending on how many children you have, it doesn't get easier. Like, you move through it, you manage the emotions, but it is an up and down. My young adult son, he's 22 years old. He is now the final nesting doll here at the home. What's exciting for him is he is actually looking to apply to the Alaska State Troopers, which is really wonderful. My husband's in law enforcement. He's in federal law enforcement. He was in regular law enforcement, and he's been on the federal side now for a very, very long time, many, many, many years. And my son-in-law, my daughter, Lydia, who just got married, her husband, Brogan, had a couple of different options he was looking to step into as a full-time career, like a lifelong kind of type career. and it was either the military or law enforcement. He is also applying for the Alaska State Troopers. My son could potentially be leaving in January for the training or the next one. He's thought about it, but now he's really seriously thinking about it. So I've already had to go through that thought of course, I am so excited for him as his mom to watch him step into his future. And he's always had a desire to want to serve. Originally, he always thought he would be in the fire department. That was his like childhood dream and focus. As he got older, he just found that that wasn't for him, but he has a desire to serve the community. And there's a lot of different job opportunities, but law enforcement was something he was leaning more towards. He is on a 30-day prayer challenge. He is praying about it for 30 days, journaling. He's like, I don't want to rush, because that was the one thing I told him. I'm like, it's really the type of career field, as a wife of a law enforcement officer over decades now. It's not a job that you go into just because. It's, there's a lot that you'll see, but I think he's really well equipped for it. I think he would do amazing. But as a person of faith that he is giving 30 days to pray about it. And he's already starting to prep. He's like, I need to eat protein. I need to start working out. I need to do all these things. So just kind of waiting, I think, for him to have complete peace about that. So that's exciting. But it does mean that he may come back after training to the home, to base out of here, but probably not long. He'll probably want to have his own place at that point. And yeah, so for me, I think I'm entering into the final stage of empty nesting. I want to show you also how the mountains were looking. We had termination dust, a couple of weeks ago. Then it kind of warmed up a little bit, and now the snow is officially on the peaks. I'll show you what it looks like. But another thought that I had with empty nesting is I have become, especially as a full-time homemaker, let me say that, as a full-time homemaker, I have become more comfortable with the quietness of the house. Now, I always have an ambient mode on, or I'll have Alexa playing some type of station, or usually I'm listening to something, but I have become comfortable in the quietness of the house. That was a big, big change for me. I, as an introverted person, I love my alone time. Like I relish it. I love it. But I also love my family time and being around other humans. And for 30 plus years, I had my children with me. I mean, with the exception of one vacation time where I went away for a week without my children, I was with my children every day for over 30 years. And you just get used to being around these other amazing human beings. And it's been an adjustment, and I have become more comfortable where it feels natural. And for example, right now, this is like forward movement as you adjust to the new center and to the new future, with the children stepping into their next chapter, which of course is exciting. It brings a lot with it. But my husband has been gone for 2 weeks. He travels a lot for his job, but he has aging parents, and he has a lot of family in this particular part of northern Wisconsin. He has been there for 2 weeks, just having a fabulous time. I'm so glad he got to go. He wanted to go before my radiation. Or actually, originally he didn't even want to leave, but I made him go. My husband just has such a servant's heart. He would rather not do what he wants to help somebody else. But sometimes I have to step in and be like, please do this for yourself. This will be really good for your spirit, to fill your cup. And it's important for him to see his parents. His dad is in his 90s, his mom in her upper 80s. She's married to a different man, and he's been battling, he is in cancer remission, but he's on that Keytruda. So he has a lot of health issues, and but they're doing amazing. But it's important for him to spend time with his parents in these elderly years. And I have felt really great being on my own. I mean, of course, I'm going to miss him and look forward to him coming home. But that was a big adjustment when my house first started emptying of children. And then the children were just getting older and working full-time jobs and not home anymore. But I'm still a full-time homemaker. I'm still working from home now, doing YouTube. And I have to say that I I have felt at peace. Like, my son is gone. He's been gone all day. He had an appointment earlier today. He does a thing called Amp Guard. He's doing that right now. And I have just been enjoying my own company, keeping myself busy. But it did take some time to get to this point. And I'm glad to say that I do see the progress, that it is becoming more the new center. And then one day I will have claim on the entire home, if you will. It's funny how you start off as a couple, and if you have children, you share your space with them in all of the ways. But then when they begin to go out, you've got to reclaim that space now, because they're not going to come back and fill it anymore. And you don't want it just to be empty. Now you've got to fill that space. And that's something that John and my husband and I are working on right now, is reimagining our 6-bedroom home that once housed our 4 children and our homeschooling lifestyle. And now it's time to reimagine what it looks like for us today. Here is this really cool static display. And look at this. So when I was here, I'll show you the cart that was here when I was here last. This first cart right here, and this is here today. And I just saw that there was a car pulled over and there were some girls walking on the tracks down there. I had to pull over at this museum area where this awesome static display of the snowplow train is. I love this thing because I could see that there was something else on the track when I was here yesterday filming some Moody shorts. There was just a lone train car on the tracks, but today they had this, so I'm like, off the highway, I wanted to come check it out. But now we're going to get back on the road. The Alaska Range Mountains are looking beautiful. I'll show you those really quick. You can see the Alaska Range Mountains in the background, and the tide is out. It's looking quite beautiful. If I'm not mistaken, that could potentially be a Dall sheep right up there. When I zoom in with my camera, it makes it blurry, but there are sheep on this mountain often, and that looks like one. I don't see any that are low. Oh, I do see some. I do see some. Oh, I see a whole bunch. They're up on top of this ridge. I don't think the camera's going to allow us to get it, but I also see a white one that's moving. I see a body shape, but sometimes they will come all the way down near the road. Yep, those were definitely sheep up there. They're coming down. I don't know how well this is picking up. It's probably not going to be picking up wonderfully well, but there's a lot of sheep on this mountain. And a little bit of termination dust right here. I don't know if you can see how fast this water is moving in, but the tide is coming in and it is moving at a good clip. I'm at a little pull-off area. We're not too far. We're almost around the arm, which is down there. In fact, you can see way in the distance, way over here, you can see probably a truck moving. I don't know how well the cell phone's going to pick it up, but we'll be turning into those mountains right there in the center of the screen to head toward Portage Lake. And then you can see here what I thought was interesting on these lower elevation mountains. You could just see the tiniest bit. You could just see the tiniest bit of termination dust on these lower elevation mountains. I almost thought about bringing my winter jacket, and in hindsight, I kind of should have. Isn't this such a beautiful area? We're probably about 20 minutes or so from Portage Lake. I just put on, I did bring another layer. I brought a sweater. I just put that on. I am living in regret. I almost packed my winter jacket, and I wish I would have. But yeah, the tide's coming in at an impressive pace. It's so powerful. And in fact, I'm looking at a sign that says warning, dangerous waters and mudflats. People always end up getting stuck in here, and often every year somebody dies. It's never safe to be on tidal flats, ever. But yeah, it's pretty impressive, the power of water on this arm of water here. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's go head to Portage Lake. We have arrived at Portage Lake, and there's not going to be a whole lot of daylight left. I want to film a moody short, and I'm going to go ahead and go do that down over here. I love the architecture of this building, and of course you could take the tunnel back there to go to Whittier, which you need to go through a tunnel to get to that city. I have if you go to my playlists on road trips, I have a rainy day trip to Portage. Yeah, it's just kind of quiet here, and there's a glacier up there. You can see a little bit of the blue. And then there's Portage Glacier right there in the valley. This place is really cool here. Isn't this just the perfect spot for a moody film? But I want to come down to the lake really quick. This has been here all summer long, by the way. When my daughter and I were here in May, all of this was here. Isn't this the coolest spot? I am really glad I got out for this road trip today. It felt good to get out. And Whittier is through that mountain. I am back in the car. I'm looking a little disheveled. It's really, really windy today, but I got to spend some time around the Bagich Visitor Center. I love this building. I love the architecture here. And I was able to film 2 full 3-minute shorts that I'm going to turn into moody, atmospheric little films. I love this area. It lends itself to being in a moody, atmospheric film. And so I did some recording, did that. It's quite cold out, but it is getting darker. I want to get on the road. You know, a lot of the animals will start to move around this time. So I want to be able to see while I drive all the way home. I'm about 45 minutes to an hour away from home. I'll probably stop at a gas station. It's about 25 minutes from here, and get a drink, use the restroom, and then head home. But I'm really glad that I stepped out today. And as I was talking about empty nesting, I've had this mindset lately since Unleash the Power Within of changing the way that I say things. Like, I'm moving through things. For example, with breast cancer, I'm moving through my breast cancer treatment. I'm moving through empty nesting. And I am moving, not only am I moving through things, but then I'm also moving into the next chapter. I'm moving through empty nesting, but then I am excited for the future. And it's taken some time for me to get there. When my daughter Megan got married last year, she moved out the year before, and I just went into empty nest syndrome. But I have adapted to the change really well, which is nice. And there's still the emotions, like when you're moving through something, you're still going to experience the feels, the ups, the downs, the emotionals, the middles, all the things. Even with going through breast cancer treatment, it's like, well, I'm strong, I'm focused, I've got it, I'm moving through it, I'm going to be on the other side. But, you know, I still get a little nervous or a little bit concerned. But just having that mindset that I'm moving through it, but then I'm also moving into something else that's exciting and compelling. And that's been a blessing to me. I hope that you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening, whenever it is that you will watch this. Thanks for spending some of this introverted time with me. This is something I love to do, is to get out and see the scenery. I do find it just resets me. I love looking for visual treasures, and they abound here. So I feel very blessed and very thankful. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.